Hello friends, welcome to the channel. So we covered the topic rational number, and the topic which we are going to start today is irrational number. So before starting the irrational number, I want to show you the diagram which I already told in the previous session. So before starting the irrational number, let's check out this real number. What is real number? So before see the diagram, what is real number. So real number is divided into two parts. One is rational number, another is irrational number. In rational number we had seen that natural number, whole number, integers and rational number. Now let me see the definition of the rational number. So let's check the irrational number. Before starting the irrational number, let's see the definition of rational number one more time. So what is rational number? So I said that any integer which can be converted in the form of p upon q, and where q should not be equal to 0. For example, 1 by 2, 3 by 5. So this can be positive or negative. We can write minus 5 upon 8. All these are rational numbers. So you can see that we had converted it into the form of p by q, and the denominators are not equal to 0. For example, one more decimal number we will take, 0.3. So how we will convert into 3 by p by q? So 3 upon 10. So now it is converted into 3 by p by q form, and where q is not equal to 0. So we converted the decimal into rational number. Now we will see the irrational number. So irrational just as the opposite of rational number. So any integer or any number or any real number which we cannot converted into the form of p by q, and where q should not be 0. That is obvious. That means that number we cannot be converted into p by q. So how? Let's check the example. If I having 0.5, so how we will convert into rational? By writing it 5 upon 10. Okay. So now see one more example. Let me zoom that. So 0.55. So what we will write here? 55 upon 100. So why we had written 100? Because after decimal 2 digits are there. So we have to write the 2 zeros here to convert it into rational number. If I am having 0.003, then I will write here 3 upon 1000. The reason now you know that after decimal 3 numbers are there, that we have to put 3 zeros, and we converted the decimal into rational. But now check this. 0.101, 1011, 10111, 10111, 1, like this it is going. Then how I convert this into p by q form? Because after decimal we should know the limit of the numbers, how many decimals, how many numbers are there after decimal, so that we can put the zeros here. But in this question you can see that it is not terminating. That means it is going like this. That means we cannot convert it into p by q form. So this number is irrational number. So it is so simple that any real number that cannot be converted into p by q form, it is an irrational number. Root 2, root 3, root 5, root 7, root 11, root 13, pi. This all are the example of irrational number. And one simple example I have given here, 0.1. That is non-terminating numbers are also irrational number. So let us check further to the real numbers and solve the exercise. Let me take a number. So a number, let's say S, is called a irrational number. Irrational number if it cannot be written in the form of in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers, where P and Q are integers and Q should not be equal to 0. So let us take the example for this. So what will be the example for a rational number? Any number which are in the form of square roots. The square root of 2, square root of 3, or we can say the odd number which are in the square root. Square root of 5, square root of 7, then pi, then we will take 0.101, 1011, 10111, like this it will go endless and it is not terminating. That means we don't know where it will end. Then if we see it clearly here, the example that is root 2, root 3, root 5, root 7, root 6, this all are irrational number. What about root 4? So if you see root 4, so let us check that first. So what is the square root of 4? The square root of 4 is 2. That means 2 into 2 we will get 4, and minus 2 into minus 2 also we will get 4. So when we taking out the square root of any number whose we get the square of that square root of that number can be in the form of positive or negative, because both positive and negative number having the same square root form. So here the square root of 4 is positive and negative, both will come, because 2 into 2 is also 4 and minus 2 into minus 2 is also 4. So one more topic is there, that is real number. So write the definition of the real number. Maybe sometimes it feels that why it is necessary to write all this definition, but later when we revise or recall that, at that time we will feel that why we not write all that small things. So it is better to write the detail. So the real number is either rational or irrational number. Every real number is represented by a unique point on the number line. So that means every real number has a point on a number line. Also, every point on the number line represent a unique real number. Simple. One more point is there, that also we will write that collection of rational number and irrational number are real number. So till now we had studied the irrational number and then real number. So we had defined it and explained it what is irrational and real number. Now let's see the questions related with this real number and irrational number. Here also state whether the following statements are true or false and justify your answer. It also carry 1 mark. One more thing I have to say that in the previous exercise what we have done to find out this question, find 6 rational numbers between 3 upon 5 and 4 upon 5. So finding the 6 rational numbers, so it carried 3 marks. So in the previous section I forgot to tell you about that. So write there 3 marks. It is of 3 marks, and that means we have to study it nicely. And here it is carry 1 marks. So justification is there. So maybe it of 2 marks, but I think it will come in 1 marks. The first question is every irrational number is a real number. So it is true because you know that the real number is a collection of irrational number and rational numbers. So every irrational number is a part of real number. So we have to explain it properly. So how we will write the answer for this? So the real numbers, we can write the definition of the real number. The real number is a collection of rational and irrational number. So we conclude that irrational number is a part of real number. So this is the justification and the answer for this is true. Now the next question is every point on the number line is of the form root m, where m is a natural number. For that, let me show you. So we cannot represent the negative number in the form of square root like this. It is a complex number that is for the higher classes. So we will not go for further detailing. So let me write the answer here. So every point on the number line is not of the form of, so we will write here false. So every point on the number line is not of the form root m, where m is a remember that it is a natural number. So we will write here, let us take a number line, all the positive numbers. So let us take a number line, all the positive number are represent on the form root 1, root 2, root 3, but we cannot represent negative number taking square root of -1, -2, etc. So this will be the explanation for this question. Now next question is, every real number is a irrational number. So it is the opposite of the first question, that is every rational number is a real number, and here the question is every real number is an irrational number. So the first one is true, then this will be false. So the last question is, every real number is a irrational number. So here it is wrong. The answer is false, because it is same as it is the opposite of the same question, first one. Every irrational number is a real number, and here every real number is an irrational number. So it is opposite question, false, because irrational number is a part of real number, not a real number is a part of irrational number. So here you can write the simple definition of the real number, that is real number is a collection of irrational and rational. From this conclusion we can say that every real number is not an irrational number. So the next question which we have to solve is, are the square root of all positive integers are irrational? If not, give an example of the square root of the number that is rational number. So the answer for this question is, square of every positive integer. We will not get a positive integer, so we will see by example also. So let's write the answer. Square root of all positive integer are not irrational. For example, let us take root 2. So what is the root 2? I already told that it is irrational number in the example, 1.41421, something like that it will go. Then if we see root 3, then we will get 1.7320 something. Then root 4 we will leave. Then root 5, root 4 we will write here 2. Then root 6 is equal to 2.4494. So you can see that root 3, root 2, root 3 and root 6 all are irrational number, because non-terminating numbers are there. So non-terminatings are irrational number. And if you check that root 4, the root 4 is, the answer is 2. 2 is a integer. So from this we can say that all the positive integers are not irrational. Some of them will be integers. So from this we can conclude that it is not all square root of the positive integer are irrational. Check out the next question. Show that root 5 can be represented on the number line. Now this we have to using Pythagoras theorem we can find that to represent a root 5 on a number line. Let us check this. So to representing a root number on a number line, we will need a scale, a compass and a pencil. So the first thing I will show how to represent root 2 on a number line. Then we will go forward root 3, root 4 and root 5. Like this we will go. So I am using here Pythagoras theorem. So what is the Pythagoras theorem? Hypotenuse square is equal to perpendicular square plus base square. So let's make a right angle triangle. So here it is right angle triangle. So we are taking right angle triangle. Let the perpendicular be 1 and the hypotenuse be 1. So what will be the answer? 1 square plus 1 square. That will be 1 square plus 1 square. The answer will be 2. So if you want square root, that means the perpendicular and the base should be 1 1. So here we have to draw in a number line. That means we have to take the unit. So we are not taking in any centimeter or anything. You can take a unit of your choice. It is not necessary that 1 unit doesn't means that you have to take 1 centimeter. Anything you can, any centimeter you can take, but the unit should be same. That means the perpendicular and the base should be same. So let us check that. So for that I will make a number line. So make a number line. And we will write here 0. So after writing 0, so I am taking a unit. I said that all the units should be equal. So here 1, here will be 2, 3. So made a number line. So this is 1, 2, 3. Remember that all these units should be equal. So here I have taken 2.5 centimeter for every distance. 2.5 centimeter, 2.5 centimeter. That means for every single unit we taken the distance 2.5 centimeter. It's upon you. 3 centimeter, whatever you want you can take. So now we are using the Pythagoras theorem. So this is the base. Now perpendicular we have to make. Remember that both the perpendicular and the base should be of the same unit for root 2. Okay. So I am drawing root 2. So for that both perpendicular and base should be 1 and 1. So here also we have to make 2.5 90-degree line segment because it is perpendicular. So I made it here. This is our 90-degree line segment, and here it is also 1 unit. 0 to 1, and here also 1. Now joined this with the origin, that is 0. So we joined it. So it is also 1, it is also 1. When we do the when we put it in the, or we will take the square of 1 square plus 1 square, it will become 2. That means the hypotenuse will be root 2. So here the hypotenuse, the length of the hypotenuse will be root 2. Now use your compass. Take the distance that is putting at 0 and expand it to root 2 and draw an arc which should intersect the line segment somewhere between 1 to 1.5. So if you know the square root of 2, the square root of 2 is 1.414. That means it should come between 1 and 1.5 near here. So we can put here A. So we can write here OA is equal to root 2, or you can write OA represent root 2. That is 1.414 something. So here on the number line. It is easy to draw. So this is root 2. Now for the exercise question, what is there? So you, whatever you are drawing, you can explain here also the same. So for root 5, what will be the perpendicular and the base? What should be the perpendicular and the base? So here should be our 1 unit. 1 plus what we will get? 5, 4. So 4, what is the square of the 4? That is 2. So 1 square plus 2 square, that is 1 plus 4, that is 5. So our hypotenuse will get 5. So we have to take 1 unit here and 2 unit here. It's upon you that whatever you want. If you want 2 unit here and 1 unit here, that also we can take. So let us start this. First draw a number line. So we are drawing a number line. arrow mark. We will put here 0. Now same. So I am taking here same unit, that is 2.5 centimeter for 1 unit. 2.5, 0.5 and 2.5. So here it is 1, 2, 3, 4, like this. So what will be the length and base and the perpendicular? I said 1 and 2. So for the base we will took 2 here. So you can write here A, and for we have to take perpendicular of 1 unit, that is 2.5 centimeter here. So it is 90 degrees. So we will write here B. So it is 1, and from here to here, that is from here to here, it is 2 unit. 2 unit by 1 unit. Now same, join that from the origin. So 0 and B, we will join 0 and B. So it will be root 5 that I have showed you by using Pythagoras theorem. Now take out your compass, take the distance from putting the divider at the 0 and extend up to B. We have to make a arc here. You know the square root of 5, it is 2.1 or 2.2 something. So it will come here. You can see that 2 point. So less than, that is between 2 and 2.5 here. So you can write here P at this point, and we can write OP represent root 5. OP represent root 5 on the number line. So you can check here one more time. So here it is 1 unit, here it is 1 unit, and here it is 1 unit. That is on the base it is 2 unit, and on the perpendicular it is 1 unit. So 2 square plus 1 square, 2 2s are 4, 4 plus 1, 5. So we will get the hypotenuse root 5 from divider, putting the divider and extend up to B, make a arc which intersect the line on the number line between 2 and 2.5. Mark it here P, and from 0 or O to P, we will represent root 5. So like this you can explain it. It depends, it is of 3 marks. So if explanation is there, so you can write the steps of construction, or like that explanation also you can write.